I just finished doing a stream with the same title as this upload. And the reason I switched it over is because I didn't read many of the comments that were being written, but there was a person who was who called himself giving advice, as if we've never seen that before. And so I realized people still don't get it. As far as as how much I want to hear of the rhetoric, just associated with giving this thing a twirl. But I did realize whenever I do something related to interactions, it should just be an upload because there's always that thing where you might be set off by a comment. But I wanted to talk about why I believe relationships are a joke. Now, there was a time where two people could meet each other through school or through a job or through whatever, and they would find themselves liking each other to the point where they went on a date, and if they liked that, they went another one. If they liked that, they tried to get to know each other, um, and had a genuine attraction that was beyond appearance and wanting to hop in bed with someone, which you can do with anyone, provided you have the funds to do so. If you live in a particular area, that is. So eventually, this shifted over, and I was trying to say that in the contemporary era, as I've gone out and talked and approached, and kind of become sick of the whole process to the point where now if I go and look at a woman in person or online, I don't even think there's the slightest of chances. And I've seen a couple of other people who've said they've resigned themselves as well. But you have to understand, if you're not from that group, you have to get that those people are not saying that because they just think they're undesirable. They know that no matter what they do, they're going to have these individuals who will goalpost them, who will find reasons to not let something work or let something even be attempted. Um, I described relationships in their current capacity being based on fraud for the fact that you had people who were being told via these websites, you have articles, videos, this advice, do this, do that, wear this, look this way, really trying to present this homogenized image. And it's always absurd because you have to understand there has been a diversity in appearances and attributes of males who have been able to successfully get with women throughout history. But a lot of these people just don't understand that. Um, and I've talked about understanding that not all women are the same, even as I become increasingly disillusioned with that fact. Because when you go into a sea of 50, 60, 70, 80 people online and offline over the course of 6, 7, 8 years, they all start looking pretty similar when they have the same reaction. Um, but them doing what they do by itself is not irritating to the point where you say, "Oh man, I have to talk about this and do a whole thing about it." No, it's the fact that you can get blamed for them doing what they do. There's no accountability for this group. Case in point, there was a woman who I spoke with for a while that I was raising funds to go see in another country. She pulled out, I guess, relatively at the last minute as the process was going on. I complained about this. She didn't get blamed by commentators. She got defended. Someone they've never met before. There's no responsibility. And as I've seen people who will tell me about the various bars I need to pass, I've seen those bars be broken time and time again. You have males and females who come from impoverished backgrounds that will have sex with each other, create another poor person, that I feel sympathetic for because they couldn't control their environment. But when you talk to a woman, it seems, and try to acquire or ascertain some kind of ongoing interaction that has to do with both of you remaining in a stable environment or attempting to create that, you get passed up and ignored. Um, and it really becomes irritating when you try to not just let it all out, supposedly, just when you're airing this out, kind of discussing it in the manner that I'm doing here. But I truly believe that the majority of males who have had this problem after observing what I've seen are not having it because they don't there's something horribly off about them. I think that a lot of these females are clowns who stand for nothing, who will allow themselves to get sexually involved with a person that they know nothing about, which I had one of them admit to me a while back, and I told you guys about this, where there was a woman who had admitted to me she'd had three romantic partners, and only one of them had she actually been involved with. Now, she became upset when I told her this meant that, she went down the street and there was this random guy, and she just decided to throw her clothes off with him. But what else am I supposed to assume, especially when I feel slighted by the fact that you are going out of your way to, you know, make sure that nothing happens with me. And I guess that's the thing people forget, that a lot of times males have feelings as well. But this is not accepted or tolerated or even thought of at all. You also have to factor in that it doesn't make sense. That, look, I can understand liking someone, thinking they're attractive, being upset by the fact they turned you down, but I don't get why we have to then tell that man who has been slighted, who has had people who made the choice to not be with him, that there's something wrong with you, that you're off, that you must have some kind of problem that we're not seeing at this moment. But if we just watch enough of your stuff, or we just think about you enough, it's never, let me sit this person down and try to understand where they're coming from. Never occurs. And so I've lost a lot of the drive to keep it going. But I'm sick and tired of having people I care about be told by others that there's something wrong with them because a group that in a lot of cases doesn't do anything to improve itself doesn't want to be with them. It just doesn't make sense to me. I won't buy it. So thank you. Have a good night.